New Year is around the corner, and if you are looking for a simple system to help you track, manage, and organize your life in 2025, then this system might help you. This is a demo vault for Obsidian that I have created, which is heavily inspired by my own Obsidian vault. So I'm sharing this with you. First, I'll go through the brief overview of how everything is set up in this demo vault. Then we'll go in depth on how everything is set up, from templates like daily, weekly, monthly templates, goal templates, projects, or habits, tasks, how everything is set up. You can get this demo vault on Gumroad, or if you are supporting me on Patreon, you can get it for free from Patreon as well. So without any delay, let's dive straight into the video and go through the brief overview. First, we have the dashboard over here, which has buttons over here to navigate to the daily note, weekly note, monthly note. And here is the button to switch between light mode and dark mode. Then we have the button to view our tasks. Then we have the data view query, which queries our goals along with tracking the progress. Then we have habits over here, which is also tracked by using data view. Then we have a simple section over here, which will list all of our important nodes that we will frequently visit. And then we have a few more data view queries for recently created nodes as well as recently updated nodes. This is all there is in the dashboard. Now, if we go to our daily node, the daily node, weekly node, and monthly node are heavily linked with each other. And I will show you how in a bit. So this is our daily node. Okay. We have a banner over here and we have the properties over here. I have a custom CSS called as hover on the properties on hover. So here we have a banner and our properties are hidden by default and they will only be visible when we hover over them. And this is all done by using CSS. We'll also talk about these in the latter part. Then we have the title over here, the name of the node. Then we have the link to yesterday's node, tomorrow's node. Then the link to monthly node as well as the weekly node. Then we have the goal section over here where we have created monthly goals and we have not created this within our daily nodes but embedded this from monthly node. Okay, if you can see here, it is an embedded node, but it does not look like embedded node. It is also done by using a custom CSS. So here we are tracking the goals, but unlike other methods, we are tracking goals directly using the data property. Okay, you can see here we have the metadata property for focus mate, and this goal is for focus mate, this goal is for reading time, and this goal is for money. So I can change data from here. Let's say I write 200, and this progress will increase. Okay, it will, this is a monthly goal, so it will track data from all of your daily nodes. It will extract the data for focus mate properties through all of your daily nodes within that month and calculate the progress and show that in a progress bar. Then we have these sections over here: visualize your goal, planning, and we have the highlight section where you will be tracking the monthly targets now, which will be linked to this monthly goal. Then we have the review section over here, and this is the important part. You can write a daily review. You can write a summary of your day within a sentence or even longer, and this data will be pulled on our weekly node. And here we have other section. You can do more if you do journaling or logging, and then you can add more information over here. Now let's go to the weekly node. Okay, and in our weekly node as well, we have the title over here, week name, and then we have the link to go to the last week, the link to go to the monthly node, and then the link to go to the next week over here. It also links to all of the daily nodes from that particular week: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And if the node is available, if you hover over it, it will be visible. We have weekly targets over here. You can write your weekly targets. And then we have the reflection section, which is very important and it's integrated with the daily nodes. You can see here we have a weekly goal reflection and it will automatically pull data from all of your daily nodes. The summary metadata that you had, the summary inline metadata that you had in your daily nodes will be pulled over here by using data view query. The weekly node also has another summary metadata, and you can use this summary metadata to write how your week went, and this data will again be pulled in our monthly node. Let's go to our monthly node now. Here we have monthly node, and here is where you set your monthly goals. And in the reflection section, it will automatically pull the data from the week using the summary inline metadata. You can also write summary for the month as well. And on the top also, you can see we have a link to the previous month, the next month, and all of the week for this particular month. Okay, this is all about the daily node, weekly node, and monthly node. Now let's talk about the goal dashboard. These are monthly goals, okay? But if you want to, you can also use them for yearly goals to calculate the progress using the daily front matter properties. But if you want to do it separately manually, then you also have the goal dashboard, where you can set your individual goals as a new file, and here you can write metadata properties as progress and target, and it will track the progress using these metadata. Then here we have the project dashboard, which is also a data view query, and it will calculate the progress of your projects by calculating the number of completed tasks and incomplete tasks. We have it here. You can see progress is 40%, 25%, and this progress will be based on the number of tasks that you have in that project and number of tasks you have completed. We have used inline metadata over here instead of using the front matter metadata. So this is all about the projects dashboard. We have finished the brief overview of our demo world. Now let's talk about the plugins that we have used in order to create this demo world or in order to use this system. But before that, I want to talk about an application that I have built. It is called VoiceInk, which lets you use voice in order to type. It will save you ton of time. If you are a knowledge worker, if your work involves a lot of typing and writing, then this application will definitely help you. It uses local Whisper AI models and it supports over 100 plus languages. If you are interested in improving your productivity and efficiency with this voice to text application called as VoiceInk, you can check it out from the link in the description. Now let's get back to our video and talk about the plugins that we have used. Let's go to settings and I'll show you all of the plugins. Okay, we have used all of these plugins. These are the plugins that we have used. Okay, this is not necessary. First is the data view plugin. I'll also show you the configuration as we go through these plugins. Okay, you'll need to enable JavaScript queries and enable the inline JavaScript queries for data view. Then we have the journals plugin, which we are using for creating daily notes, weekly notes, monthly notes, and it also supports quarterly notes as well as yearly notes. It is much better than the calendar plugin and the periodic notes. So I think this journals plugin would be far better than using the calendar as well as the periodic notes plugin. Then we have the MetaBind plugin, which was used for creating the buttons in the dashboard. Then we have Pixel Banner, which is used for creating that banner look at the top. Then we have the style settings plugin, which is used in combination with the Anup Pukin theme that I'm using right now. Then we have the tasks plugin, which is for managing tasks. Then we have the templater plugin. In the templater plugin, you need to go to settings, go to option and enable the trigger templater on new file creation option from here. Now this is all about the plugins that we are using. Now we also need to talk about the CSS snippets that we are using. So I'll go to appearance and here are all the CSS snippets that we are using. The first one is the cars over here. This is the minimal themes car CSS. Then we have the clean embed CSS, which makes the embedded node not like an embedded node. It makes it look like the node itself instead of the embedded visual styling. And then we have the daily node theme, which we are using for our daily node, weekly node, and monthly node to create that centered look. Then we have the MCL multi-column CSS, which is from modular CSS layout. And then we have the CSS for properties on hover, which you previously saw. When you hover over the properties, it will be visible, but it will be hidden by default. So these are the CSS snippets that we have used here. Now let's start with journal plugin. So go to settings, go to journal plugin. By default, it will be this view. Okay. Now you'll need to create a new journal. If you have not using journal plugin, you'll need to create a new journal. And if you create a new journal, it will ask you to write the name of the journal. The type will be calendar based and name and ID at this. Then we have the edit button over here. Now you can see here we have the option to create daily notes, weekly notes, monthly notes, quarterly notes, as well as yearly notes. And you also have the option to open a note on startup, whether you want to open daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or quarterly notes. And this is why I like the journals plugin. It is much better than the calendar plugin as well as the periodic notes plugin. Then you can set the root folder over here, which we have set as 002 journal. I'll show you the configuration for all of these nodes so that you understand how they are configured. In the daily nodes, now we only have the default date format as year and month. Then the date format is like this. Okay, you can see over here. We have the year, then we have the month, and then we have the date itself. So what this format will do is it will create a 2024 year folder, then it will create a December folder. Inside that folder, then it will create that note, and this makes it easy to organize your notes. And in the template section, we have added the daily note template. You have the option to show in ribbon or not. So that is all for the daily note. And in the weekly note as well, we have created the same date format. You can see over here, 2024 December 2024 week 52. So week 52 will also be inside the December folder. Then we have the monthly note, which is also in the same format. The daily note, weekly note, and monthly note, all of them will be inside the same month folder. Okay, and when you are in a new month, it will create a new month, and all of those notes will be again in that new month folder. You do not need to configure anything other than that, just the default date format and the template. For that, you will need to create a template over here. So this is all for the settings of the journal plugin. Now let's go to our daily note. No, I think instead of going to the daily note, let's start with the monthly template. I'll go to the source mode of this monthly template. Okay. First, we have the properties over here. We have added the CSS classes as daily. This daily CSS class is using the daily note CSS that you saw previously over here. Okay. This one, daily note themes. And this was, I think I got this one from Discord or somewhere. As there was a Cipher World or something like that in the name. I got this CSS from there, and I modified this a lot to make it better. If you remove this CSS class, daily CSS class, it will look like this. Okay, I just add it here to make everything centered. And here we have the templater function using moment.js in order to get the first it will get the title of the node, and it will format that in this format, which will be 2024 December. Then we have some other templater code as well. These codes will first create a link to previous month's node, then the next month's node, and all of the week for this month. You can see here we have 5 weeks, and it will create a link to all of those 5 weeks. Then we have the monthly goals section, and this is something that I have worked on personally for a lot of time to get it working. Here you can add new goals just by adding these properties. You can add a target value, you can add a metric name, and you can add a metric label, or you can just delete these if you do not want, or you can change these values and numbers from here. Currently, you can understand everything by just reading this. Target value is the total target, total goal that you want to achieve. Then we have the metric name, which means the inline metadata that you want to track over here. I had selected focus mate. Then this is the metrics level, which will be displayed to you. It is same thing here, target value, metric name, and metric level. If you want to add it here, you can just write comma and copy all of this from here and add another goal, and it will, okay, I'll just need to close this with curly brace. And here we have the 4 goals right now. These 2 goals are same. Okay, I'll just remove this. So I guess you understand how this is working. You can set your monthly goals right from here, and these goals will automatically be tracked by using daily notes. You can add a property in your daily note, and those properties will be used to measure these goals. And here we have the start date and end date. I think I made some mistake. Instead of having a predefined date over here, we'll be using the templater function. So it will automatically pull the start date of the month as well as the end date of the month. Currently, this is working for December only, and you have to change this manually. But if we add a templater function, when you create a new node, it will automatically do that. And let's close this. Then we have the reflection section over here, where we are using the data view query in order to get the summary of all of our weeks. Okay, currently it is not being displayed here because we are in the monthly node, and it is using this templater function. If you go to December month, you saw this previously. We have the weekly reflection over here. Then we have the summary metadata over here. You can add this metadata, and you can use another data view query. Instead of week, you can query for month, and it will query a summary of all of your months. So this is the monthly node. Now let's go to weekly template. Weekly template is same. We have the CSS class used as daily, and we have used the banner over here. And then we have the title. We have used the templater function to automatically pull the week number. Then we have the link to last week, this month's node, next week, and all of the daily nodes from that particular week. And here you can set weekly targets and do other things. And here we also have the section for reflection, which will automatically pull the summary data from our daily nodes. That is the most important part of this weekly note. In our daily note as well, we have the same thing. We have the banner over here. And then we have CSS class as daily. Then we have these habits that we want to track: writing, workout, and reading habits. And here we have the daily note as a title, and we are using the same templater function in order to get the today's date in this format. And then we have link to yesterday, tomorrow, monthly note, and weekly note. And here you can see there is an error because we are using the templater function over here. But you won't see this error when you create a note with this template, because the templater function will automatically be converted into a date. And it will embed this month's date with the monthly goal section. So you can see it looks like this. Okay. And because we are using clean embed, it just looks like it is a part of the note itself instead of looking like an embed. Then we have these secondary sections in our daily note where you can journal and log your day. And finally, this is another important part, tracking monthly targets. If you have set your goals for the month, then you will need to add a property. The same property that you configured in your monthly goals, you need to add it here and track. And it will automatically calculate the progress by adding all of the data from daily notes for that particular month. And here we have the review section where you will need to add a summary, and this summary was pulled in the weekly note as you saw previously. You might be getting a little confused by seeing all of this templater code, but you don't have to, because this is just for template. In your normal note, it will just look like a note itself. You can see here. And these will be just links to your other notes instead of those templater codes. And you can get all of these either from the demo vault by downloading the demo vault, or you can see the article that I linked below and you can copy the code from there and add it yourself. Now let's go to the goal template over here. Okay. For goal template, we have simple front matter properties like area, progress, and target. And then we have the start date and deadline. Then we have the banner as well as the completed date section. The most important part here is the progress and target, which will be used in order to calculate your progress, to show the visual progress bar. And you can also add start date, in date, as well as banner to make it look better. In the goal dashboard, we have used the data.vjs property to query from our folder, journals folder and goals subfolder. And then we have created the goal, target, progress and deadline column and created a progress bar. And this progress will be calculated by comparing your progress against the target. And I think we got the naming right. We should write here deadline and then there should be progress. We can just change that. Let's do it here. We'll write it deadline, progress. Now it looks better. Then we have the project section. Let me go to project template here. And all of these projects are automatically moved to projects folder by using the templater function auto move. We have the Y, target and deadline as a property. Then we have the task section where you can write all of your tasks. And in the project dashboard, it will create the progress by comparing the tasks you have completed against the total tasks that there are in that particular project. Now let's go to habit tracker. We can either use a simple data view query for tracking our habits, or we can make it even more complex but more useful. This is a simple data view query which will track your habits based on the number metrics. Okay. If you want to track your habits not by using check marks but by using numbers, then you will be using this method. Or if you want something different, I have made some examples over here. If you want to track your habits by using number, you will be using this data view query. If you want to track your habits with simple checkbox styling but with streaks, you will be using this data with JavaScript code. And you can see here we have the streak as well as the record when you use this data with JavaScript code. And we have this same data with JavaScript query over here, but it will be using numbers instead of checkbox items over here that we have used. And in the dashboard as well, we are using this data with JavaScript code for tracking with simple checkbox styling, but with streaks and record support. So this is all for the habit tracking. Now let's go to our dashboard section and see how we have built that, or how you can build that too. Let's go to dashboard over here. Okay, this is our dashboard. If you go to preview mode, this is how it looks like. We have the goals section over here, then we have the habits section, and then we have the buttons to do certain functions like switching between light mode and dark mode easily right from here, viewing our tasks, navigating to our daily note, weekly note, or monthly note. And all of these buttons are created by using MetaBind plugin. You saw previously as well, we were using the MetaBind plugin. We are using the MetaBind buttons. And I will show you how you can create these MetaBind buttons, okay? MetaBind. To create a MetaBind button, you just need to go to command palette and search for MetaBind or you can just search for buttons. You have the button builder, and you can write, let's say, open daily node. I'll create a button to open a daily node, and here you'll need to write done. You don't need to write here, but still open a daily node, and here you can write an ID. If you want to make this button inline, then you need to hide this button and add a ID. But if you don't want to, you can just remove this part. Okay, I just need to copy to clipboard and paste the MetaBind button code here, and we have the daily node. Now we did not select anything as the style. Let's write primary over here, and it will look better like this, and it will open the daily node. Oh wait, we did not configure it to open the daily node. Let me go back over here and button. Okay, daily node. I'll not do anything over here, just write command, click on change, and here search for journal. Okay, journal open daily node, open today's node, copy to clipboard, paste it here, go to preview mode, and we have opened the daily node using this button. So it supports a lot of things. This is just one example of how you can use this just to open your daily nodes right from the dashboard without going anywhere. So I'll just delete this node here. Then we have the goals and habits section over here, which are arranged by using the modular CSS layout, which helps you create multi-columns in Obsidian. If you have not watched my video on modular CSS layout, I will link it down in the description so that you can do it from there. With modular CSS layout, you will need to create a multi-column like this. Okay, and then you will need to add a JavaScript query like this with this angle bracket at the front. And when you want to create another column, you will need to just add another line with angle bracket, and then you will need to create another column. You can create multiple columns here just like that. I'll show you by creating another column. Okay, this is me creating another column, and here we have another column. I'll just remove this. Then we have this section for linking to our important nodes, such as the projects that we are working, or the important nodes such as goals, calendar, project dashboard, etc. This is also created using the modular CSS layout. When you add a hashtag like this with the modular CSS layout MCL multi-column, then you will be able to use this hashtag MCL/list card, and it will render like this in the preview mode with multiple columns. This list item will look like that. Okay. Then we have the recently created and recently updated section, which is also created by using data view, and we are limiting it to 7 numbers, and it is also using multi-column. Now there is one final thing in our setup, that is tasks. For tasks, we are using this tasks timeline as well as tasks calendar. Okay, the task dashboard looks like this, and the task calendar looks like this, where you can see all of the tasks are shown in the calendar in Obsidian. And this is created by using our task calendar and tasks timeline. I will show you the GitHub repo. This is the Obsidian task calendar. You can configure it to make it look even better, because we are in the dark mode. It does not look that good in our demo world, but you can see here it looks pretty good and pretty neat with Obsidian. And this is the task calendar, and this is the tasks timeline. This is a different repo. You can see here it looks pretty. You can also add it to the sidebar to see all of the tasks that you need to do. I also have another video on how you can set this up. I will link it down in the description. I will provide the link for all of the related videos. You can go and check it out from the description as well. So this is all for the Obsidian Life Planner setup vault. I hope you guys found something useful, and I hope you found some inspiration. If you want to download the demo vault, you can do it from the link in the description. Or if you just want to look into the code and just copy these codes and see how it works, then you can also check out the article link given in the description. Also, if you are using Mac, don't forget to check out this application called as VoiceInk. I have got pretty good reviews from users, so it will definitely help you as well, and you will love it as well. So this is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You found some inspiration or some ideas that you might implement in your own personal vault. If you are still watching till now, I want to say Happy New Year. Have a great year ahead. See you again. Bye.